Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Minecraft survival world. Today we are going to be building up a tower right here on this hill in my survival world, and it's going to be so awesome because I've already designed this thing in creative mode and I'm pretty much 100 steps ahead of the game today because I've gone ahead and just planned out everything and I really haven't had time to record, okay? So you're probably wondering, why is this episode like 3 weeks late or something? Why have I not been uploading very many episodes on my channel? And the reason for that is, of course, well, there are two reasons, but the first one is, of course, college and homework. I get tons and tons of homework from this college, and it's like we get free periods at college as well, so I can do some of my homework then, but then even though I try and do that, we still have... well, I still have lots and lots to do at home, so it gets a bit insane sometimes, a bit intense, but I've been coping with it pretty well, and I'm always going to find some time to be able to record because this is really fun. And yeah, we're going to be building up this tower. I've already got all of the resources ready, and I think pretty soon we're just going to get straight into it. Now, the reason I have everything ready and I haven't sort of done a little cut saying, okay, so now I'm going to go gather the resources and stuff like that, is because I haven't been doing YouTube for so long that I've actually degraded. I'm not very good at doing YouTube anymore because I just haven't had enough practice recently. So I actually tried to record this episode before, but you know, let's not tell anybody about that. That didn't happen, and I've got all of the resources I really am going to need to do this thing, and I've also designed the entire thing in creative mode. So and I didn't show that in the earlier recording try that I did either, but it's okay because I wasn't planning to actually show you guys that. But I've built this thing out in creative and I think it's going to be really awesome. But the second thing, the second reason why I haven't been able to upload a lot is because I've actually started writing. I've started to write a story, and you may think, well, you're writing a story, so you know what's the difference there? You can surely do YouTube, but it takes ages to write, and although it's really fun, it does take a very long time sometimes, and my friend has been helping me out with all of the editing and pretty much doing the editing for me and giving me all tips on how to improve my work and stuff, and so the editing part of it just adds in a whole another bit of time, so I've been focusing on that quite a lot. But don't worry guys, I will always be uploading YouTube videos, but yeah, I think writing is like one of my most important and interesting things I love to do, and it's like writing is my first hobby and YouTubing is kind of my second hobby, but I wouldn't really want to rank it like that either because I really love playing in this Minecraft world, and trust me, this episode is going to be pretty epic. So let's get on with doing some building. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so I think it's time to actually get stuck into this build and to actually try and do something here and try and build this thing. And to be honest, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually build it on camera. I think it's going to be a little bit hard to get all the positioning of everything right. And I think I'm just going to be looking again at a picture which I've taken on my phone this time, not my tablet. Obviously it's just basically the same thing. Don't know why I'm really explaining that, but I think these go out 3 blocks and then we have some steps on either side like this. And so I've put a lot of detail into this thing. This thing is really intricately detailed. So I've got tons and tons of stairs going on everywhere, tons and tons of slabs as well. And it does look a little bit overcomplicated, I think. I think if there's anything that I don't like about this design, it's probably the fact that there's a little bit too much complication in this thing. And if you just noticed that I've stopped moving, it's because I'm unlocking my phone again because it has switched off and I need to get the screen on. So here we go. I think I need to put some dark oak wood just like this, and yep, there's no mobs around, just checking out for the creepers. You know, you can never be too careful these days with all of the creepers in this world. They are just so violent. They will get me one day probably, hopefully not. I'm just going to keep looking around, being super paranoid about it. And I think we have these going along like this, and that looks pretty cool. And yeah, this is going to be really tall, so you can just get an idea here of the radius or the diameter of this tower. It's going to be pretty big indeed, and I think the view is just going to be spectacular. I have to relate to the view every time again. And by the way, the time that I actually recorded the first episode, or when I actually recorded the first episode, was in the morning, and it was actually 10 minutes before I was meant to be at the bus stop to catch my bus for college, which is a bit insane. And I don't know why I recorded so early in the morning. I just felt like it, so I probably do, again, as always, sound completely different between cuts, but that's okay. You know, my voice changes a lot of the time, and I've just been doing a lot of homework, by the way, which, yeah, you don't want to hear about that again, do you? I've been going on about that for quite a while, so I think I'm just going to carry on building this thing up and making it look quite nice. Hopefully I can get the design going, and the only problem is I have to keep looking at my phone, like I said, to know where I actually have to place these blocks, which might be a slight problem, but I think it should be okay. I think it's something like that. Actually, I think these two blocks come out, something like that. Yep, and then we have, I think, as far as I can remember, I built this a little while ago. I think it's something like this. But yeah, I'm just going to build this base section all the way up, and then I will be back. So I've been building for a little bit of time now, and this is what I've come up with. This is the base of the tower, and this should give you a really good idea of what it's going to look like and how sort of wide it's going to be again, but this should give you an even more direct idea of that. Wow, this axe is really fast. It just cuts through this stuff, doesn't it? But yeah, so you see the design that I'm going for. Again, loads of the dark oak wood, which you know I always use, and you saw in that chest over there. It really does look really good. I don't know why, but it just works so well with the stone brick, and I just had to use it. It's my classic choicer material there. But yeah, it's actually been quite fun just building this thing up. Finally, I've been wanting to do it for quite a while, and well, when I was in my creative world and I built this thing, I wasn't actually entirely sure. Can I get that? Did I get it? Probably got it. I wasn't entirely sure whether this thing actually looked any good or not. I thought that it would either look really good or it would look really bad, because it was one of those times when you've just been building for so long that you can't actually tell whether what you've built is good or not. And that is what happened while I was building this thing. That was a bit of intense lag there, but there we go, we got over that. So now I'm thinking that this is actually turning out pretty well. I think that the look of it in this landscape is just so cool, and not to mention all of the views. So I won't mention them because I've been mentioning them a lot so far. So now what I've got to do is, I think, build up the next section, and I'm going to do it in sort of sections like this and give you guys progress updates. And I think that will be a good way of sort of notifying you of how things are being done when things happen. Wow, now I'm trapped on the outside. I'll have to fall down here. Another thing is this staircase right here. As you can see, it's 2 blocks wide, but this is an odd number of blocks along the radius of this, or the diameter. So I'm gonna have to move this staircase probably one out, or I might just make it a single block wide staircase. Actually, that would look pretty terrible now that I think of it. So it probably should be a 3 wide staircase along there, or I might just get rid of it and put in some kind of weird path with some half slabs and stuff like that. That might look quite nice as well. But as you can see, the first the first floor is just going to be right here. And I kind of ran out of slabs. I ran out of stone slabs, so that's only half done. So I probably should make some of those. And oh, that's not how you make stone slabs. Again, really out of practice here. But the problem is, I actually think that I'm going through these resources much quicker than I had first anticipated. I think I'm going to need many more resources than I had originally planned or estimated, and that's okay. I guess I could get them. There is still some stone smelting at my house. All of that is not done yet, so I've probably got a lot waiting for me at home right now. But I think I should quit rambling and get on with showing you some more awesome progress on this thing. So I'm going to build up a little bit more, and then I'll show you what I've done. So this tower is getting gradually and gradually bigger, and it's looking much and much better with every block I place. Really, it's getting. I mean, it's not that much taller than it was in the last cut, but I really wanted to talk about how I want to use the Camera Studio mod to create some time lapses. But the only problem is that I can't time lapse building this thing again, like I think the cactus farm, which I wanted to time lapse. I can't do it because it's not compatible with 1.8. I think that's the problem, and the only thing that I can use is the replay mod, but that's when it comes out, and it hasn't actually came out yet. So the replay mod is a really cool time-lapsing kind of mod where you sort of go back. It sort of records everything in the game, and then you go back and sort of put a camera path in and stuff like that. I don't really know how to use it because I've obviously never used it before. Because it's not released yet, but when that mod comes out, I'm really going to use that thing, and I wish I could just time lapse myself building up this this tower. That would look so epic, and it would make this video probably 10 times better. But I can't do that because I don't have the support from the Camera Studio mod. I tried installing it as well, and it didn't work. I think that was a while ago. But yeah, this thing is going pretty well. I'm loving the design so far, and I've still got a lot of progress to make, so I should probably carry on. I figured it would be a pretty good idea to give you guys a view of this thing from afar. So here it is. This is pretty much 3/4 of the tower done. I think it's a lot taller actually, and it's not completely done, so I can't really estimate this very well, but it's about 3/4 done, probably less, if anything. But I don't think I really explained anything properly about the actual function of the tower, and just like, did that even close? Or did it? I don't know, it's not updating. Okay, so now that's open, and yeah, that's closed. So we're having some lag issues there, but yeah, I was going to explain the function of this tower. First of all, I just wanted it to be a watchtower, really. I just wanted it to be a nice kind of aesthetic project in my world, something that can like landmark this area from like far away places. Say I'm coming from that direction, except there is the giant tree. But you know, if we ignore that, this is just a really cool thing. But also, it's actually really cool to just have something like this that will help you sort of look at the views and all of the scenery around the base. Just as we gradually develop it and add in more and more stuff, you know, you can kind of take screenshots from up here, and I think it just looks really cool. And maybe I'll take some of the screenshots for the different episodes from up here as well. I think that would be a pretty good idea. Also, I forgot to like mention how I'm doing all the levels and stuff. And it's pretty simple. I'm just going to have a few levels. I'm not going to have like one every 5 blocks or something like that. You know, it's not going to be some kind of pattern. It's just going to be at several areas where I think you can see out pretty well. Like these ones from these middle blocks. You can see out sort of well. I've got these slabs here just so you don't accidentally walk out to your death. Also, I've gone for this kind of like open theme. You see that it's sort of half built almost. It's got so many holes and stuff for light to come through, and although that really wouldn't be a good design in real life, it kind of works in Minecraft because from far away it kind of looks like it's a whole building, and it's okay, and everything looks pretty supported, as you can see there, but a lot of light can come in as well. And it also looks kind of, it adds more detail, I think, because there's more depth to it. But that's that. Also, to get up and down, we're obviously going to be using this giant ladder. I was going to use a staircase, or I would have used a staircase, but or a spiral staircase, that is. But the only problem with those is they take up so much space that it's insane. It will pretty much leave the space for these kind of floor sections, which get smaller and smaller as we go higher. Apart from the one right at the top, it won't leave enough space for them, so it won't be very good really. So this is the smallest transportation thing that we can use to get between floors. But the problem with this is it's really slow. But I guess we'll have to live with that. Not too much of a problem. So I've got to admit, in the last cut I was going on and on about things which really weren't necessary, so I had to actually cut that out, which is why you had such a weird transition between clips there. But this is how far I've got so far. So you can see I'm right at the top. That is actually where the top floor is going to be and where we're going to have the roof, but I haven't put that in yet. But I'll just show you in a second the actual view that we're going to get right from the top of our guard tower. And another thing is I actually haven't put in any of the lighting yet. So I've still got to go ahead and like put in some torches, I think, probably using some cobblestone walls. And did that open or not? I don't know. By the way, all of this lag that we've been getting, I think I've actually solved the problem. Originally, my map levels, which are right here, they were on 4, so that causes insane lag. That really does cause a lot of lag. So if you're getting some lag issues, make sure you turn down your map levels. The only problem is, though, when you look far in the distance, you see that everything's a little bit more dotty and bitty and kind of pixelated. And that's because map levels kind of reduces that. And also another thing, I don't know whether I just mentioned this or not, but the spruce wood, dark oak wood fences which I had in the walls, I've replaced them with spruce wood because they look a lot lighter and you can kind of see them better. Whereas the dark oak wood ones you could barely see. They didn't really, although they fitted in with the color, they sort of fitted in too much and you couldn't really see them. So this is what the view looks like so far, although the chunks really aren't loading in very fast. But you get the idea. It's going to be a pretty awesome view, especially when I turn the map levels slightly higher, so then everything won't be so sort of pixelated. But that's what I've got for you so far. I've also still got the train line in from that villager breeder episode. It's all still there and actually goes down all the way to the villager breeder. So if I ever need to use that, I could use it. But now what I've got to do is actually go ahead, put in the roof. I think these dark oak wood pillars are going to be extended just a little bit more. And the cool thing is I still have quite a lot of dark oak wood left in that chest next to those creepers, which I'm going to have to watch out for. So it's okay, you know, I haven't really used as many resources as I would have expected. I thought it was going to take a lot more. And I think I'm just going to go build in that roof and then I'll meet you right on the top of there where we're going to put in the flag, which is also something that I've designed in creative, and that's going to be a really fun moment because I will have basically finished this entire tower. And as the sun sets, you can tell that we've completely finished the tower. Just take a look at that thing. It's completely as tall as it's going to be. It's got the roof on. It's got the viewing platforms and everything is pretty much done. The only thing I haven't done is lit it up or put in the lighting. But I will do that off camera, so that's okay. But we've got one more thing to do. We've got one more thing to do, and that is to put in the flag. So let me get myself some red wool, because it's going to be a red flag, and I'm going to go and put that thing on there. So we're right at the top here, and we're ready to actually put in the final finishing touch. The sky is awesome, as always, and don't worry, I'm going to be giving you guys a quick view from the main top viewing platform in just a second, but I feel that I need to do this first. So hopefully I can remember how this actually goes. I think it's something like that. It's kind of like an angled flag because that is, I think, the best way to actually make a flag. And the cool thing is, I actually got this wool from the wool farm. So obviously that thing is finally in use, and I have been breeding all of the sheep as well from there. So that's pretty cool. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I think I can remember. Oh, I hope I don't fall, because that would be a pretty bad end to the episode. I've got 38 XP. I want to do some enchanting next episode, and that's going to mean trying to stay alive on here. Oh, this is getting dangerous. This is getting really dangerous. You could be seeing a death at the end of this episode. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I think I'm doing the right thing here. Maybe this is meant to go a little bit to the side like that, and then I'm meant to extend it out. I'm not entirely sure, like I'm saying, but it should work. And if this turns out to be wrong, I think I'm just gonna sort of do it off camera, the rest of it. But I think it's something like this, and then it gets dropped down by 1 block and goes out. Oh, this is a really bad way of doing it though, because I've obviously got to get here, see how this works, and I think that's it. And kind of looks a bit weird from from up here, but hopefully from down below it should look a little bit better. So that's like that, and hopefully this is right. I hope I haven't made a terrible mess of this. It's probably sounding like I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing, basically. Hopefully this is good. I think this might even be better than the one on my creative world, though, because it's a bit... I think it looks a bit more realistic, because I always build my flags to the side, angled like this, because they always look a lot better. And I think this is it. I think we've actually done. I think we have actually done. With this block, we've actually completed the tower build. We are actually completely done. And I think I'm ready to show you guys some of the views from this thing. I've got to admit, and I've got to say it again, there are some beautiful, beautiful views everywhere. So this is what we made this tower for. It's to have some awesome views of the area. I particularly like this one because of the hills. And sometimes the moon comes out in this awesome Brothers Johnson Unshaders pack for the sky. I always remember that because it's such a good sky. And if we look this way, we can see all of the progress that we've made so far on our base. We've got the railway system, which we made a couple of episodes ago. We've got the sheep farm, which we made last episode, which I've been using recently with all of this wool. We've got our house and the tree. I actually had to private the episode with the tree. I think it's episode number 3 or something like that, because the rendering software made my voice so high-pitched that it really was quite ridiculous. So I had to private that episode, but never mind. I guess I could re-upload it one day. And we've got all of our farms back there, and I think this is just a really awesome view. And everything in this episode has been pretty successful. It's gone pretty smoothly. I still have a lot of resources left, especially in that chest down there. And I think it's time to end it. I think it's time to end the episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. It's been very fun to make. Wow, this is a cool view. Let's see if I can get it again. Yes! But the only problem is maybe this episode has been a little bit too repetitive. That's what I found. Like, I could have made, I could have done extra things. You know, I could have done more in the episode and broken it up a little bit more. But either way, I think the product of this episode has been really spectacular. I think I'm really happy with this tower, and I hope you guys are too. So as always, if you want to leave a comment down below, it would be much appreciated, because you know, I'd like to know what you guys think about the design of this thing, and whether you think it is too complicated like I was saying before, or whether you like the structure of this episode, and whether you like the progress updates, and whether you want to see more of that in the future. And with that, I think I'm going to have to leave you until the next one. So see ya!